Hey everybody, this is Leslie and you're watching Midlife and Nailing It. If you could please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, I'd really appreciate it. It helps my channel out. Today I have for you a cook with me, and it is part of a quarantine cooking collab hosted by the Sister Circle. This is week 3 in the 4-week challenge. I'll be sure to put links to all these very talented ladies in my description box below, as well as a link to this week's playlist and the past week's playlist too. Let's get started. Okay guys, so before we get started, I just want to tell you real quick, a meat that I have been able to find throughout this quarantine is andouille smoked sausage. I know that sounds kind of silly. We eat andouille probably 4 times a year and that's about it. But I know for sure in my area, and I'm hearing from a lot of other people's areas, that the meat department is pretty hit or miss, and you don't just get to go in there and grab any meat you want. It's kind of what's available in the moment that you're there type of situation. I know that our last grocery order, we only got the andouille right here. Everything else was out that we asked for, and apparently all of the chickens were out in all of the Kroger store. So I decided to do this recipe for that reason, because it includes the andouille smoked sausage that you see here, or any smoked sausage. And so far, we've probably had some kind of a meal with andouille sausage at least every other week throughout this entire quarantine. So that's why I'm sharing this recipe with you. And one other thing before I get started on this recipe, I do want to let you know that another recipe I make with andouille sausage is just simply getting a couple boxes of Jazigreen's, either jambalaya or red beans and rice, and then I just slice the sausage up and put it in with the rice as directed, and I throw in onion and green pepper or red pepper if I have it, and I call it a day. You could just put the sausage in, and it's pretty filling, easy, and I've had good luck getting my hands on those things. Okay, and I also real quick want to add that I am doubling this recipe because what we have for dinner tonight is also going to be lunch tomorrow. So that's another tip for you, especially if you're kind of sick of cooking so much during this quarantine, is double it up and make it spread out for a few meals, or it's lunch the next day. That's another quick tip for you. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm doing here. So I went ahead and put foil on my cookie sheet here, and I'm gonna give it a light spray, just a very light spray with my cooking spray so nothing sticks. And I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven at 425 degrees. And then I'm also going to cut up this andouille sausage, and my sausage is cut up. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and cut up this onion and green pepper and red pepper. And my green and red bell pepper and onion is all cut up. And I'm gonna cut up these potatoes as well. Okay, so I got my potatoes cut up. I'm gonna go ahead and get my sausage on the cookie sheet last because it doesn't require any olive oil or anything like that. And for vegetables, you guys, I'm using the onion, green pepper, and red pepper here, but of course you could use any vegetable, either fresh or frozen, that you'd like. The other day I went ahead and I think I did onion, broccoli, and sweet potato because those were the vegetables I have on hand. So this cookie sheet dinner is super versatile, which is kind of a theme in the videos I've been doing for this quarantine cooking. I want you guys to be able to switch out the items that I'm showing you easily, and you still have a meal by using the techniques that I'm showing you. Now, this next step, I'm just gonna take the onion, green pepper, and red pepper and get it on the cookie sheet, and then I'm gonna toss it with just a little bit of olive oil and salt. I'm not gonna do my potatoes at the same time because I'm wanting to get some ranch seasoning on my potatoes, but they would be good if you just included them in the process that I'm doing with the onion, green pepper, red pepper. They're good with olive oil and just some salt and pepper as well. You don't have to have the ranch packet to make this. You certainly do not. So I'm just getting the peppers and the onion on the cookie sheet here. It should take up about half of the space. Okay, so I've got my green pepper, red pepper, and onion on here, and I'm going to go ahead and put my potatoes on this side because I want to get olive oil on those as well. And if you have never tried all the different colored potatoes, they come in what they call a medley. Oh my gosh, the purple potatoes are killer. I love the potatoes that are like this. But if you've watched my channel before, you know that I love vegetables and I love rainbow vegetables. I don't know if you can tell by this recipe. But yeah, let me go ahead and get the rest. Especially with the potatoes, you want to make sure that there is one layer of potatoes. This stuff, it's kind of okay if they're touching, they'll get done. So I'm just going to use a little bit of salt here and sprinkle it on my onion, green pepper, and red pepper. Probably about a teaspoon. And then I'm going to go ahead and get this ranch seasoning on my potatoes. So I put that only on the potato side. Next, I'm going to go ahead and drizzle some olive oil all over all of the vegetables. Okay, so I'm going to get in here with my hands, and the green pepper, red pepper, and onion only have the olive oil and salt. And I'm just going to make sure everything is coated with the olive oil and salt. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to mix my potatoes up with that ranch seasoning and the olive oil. And I did have to add a little bit more olive oil to my potatoes here. Okay, so I'm just going to come in with my sausage and kind of nestle it in my green pepper, onion, and red pepper. And the sausage will flavor the vegetables as well. This is what that meal looks like before it goes into my 425-degree oven for about 30 minutes or so. I'll check it and decide then if it needs to go longer or not. So I've got my onions, green pepper, and red pepper coated with the olive oil and salt. And then I just tucked all the sausage in there. And then at this end, I've got my potato medley with the olive oil and ranch seasoning. You could just do salt or salt and pepper here if you'd like. And of course, you can use any vegetables that you'd like to roast with your sausage. Sweet potato, cauliflower, broccoli, any kind of pepper. I'm trying to think of all the things. Potatoes, just carrots, even Brussels sprouts. The sky's the limit here with what you'd like to do on your cookie sheet, so whatever you have on hand. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this in the oven, and like I said, that'll cook for about 30 minutes. Okay, everybody, I went ahead and pulled this out of the oven. It smells so good. It's going to be so delicious. And just so you know, when the 30 minutes was up, I pulled it out of the oven, but I felt like it needed to go a little bit longer. So I quickly gave everything a quick toss, got it back into the oven, and let it cook for another 10 minutes. Okay, so this is what that meal looks like plated up. It's going to be so good. I love all the vegetables. Vegetables are my very, very favorite thing. So I hope this one sheet meal inspires you. Remember that you can mix it up with any frozen or fresh vegetables that you'd like, and that you could be as simple as just drizzling olive oil and maybe some salt, maybe some pepper onto your vegetables, or of course you can use any seasoning you'd like. I used ranch on those potatoes, and so yeah, this smells so good. I can't wait to eat it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.